Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Hsieh, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed. Today, we're joined by Joseph, the founder of Boardwalk Puzzle. From teaching and tech to building company that now best known for premium US-made puzzle, Joseph have really seen a lot of different aspects of the industry. We'll dive into how he have the success that he have and his creative approach when it comes to art, design, and also the challenge of scaling a toy company in the midst of the tariff and all the other challenges that we all face as an industry. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you, Jason. It's fun to be here.
So, yeah, you're welcome. So, Joseph, can you kind of first share with our audience what inspired you to leave your teaching and tech career and started a puzzle company instead?
Well, I think one of the things that inspired me is that I love art. And I think art can do a lot to communicate stories. Just a single piece of art can be a whole story. And so the puzzle industry is really all about art. Like people are buying the puzzles based on the box and the art that they see. They fall in love with a piece of art and then they spend the next 5 hours with it, putting it together. So it's a little bit different than if you're going to a museum and appreciating art, it's great because you can see the originals and everything, but you don't spend very long, a few minutes with each piece of art. And when you're doing a puzzle, you might be having a great conversation with a friend or one of your kids, and you're also immersed in the art. You're spending maybe 3 or 4 hours, 5 hours with that piece of art.
I see. Like what about your personal journey? How do you started the company way back when?
Well, the origins of the company are pretty interesting. We started with wooden puzzles, and a couple friends and I bought a hand-cut wooden puzzle company in Maine. And part of that transaction was we thought, well, we have to also be able to make really high-quality puzzles using technology that we could offer to the masses, because a hand-cut puzzle might be $1,000 or $2,000. And that's just not affordable for a majority of the population. So if we could cut that, 20% or like even 5% of that cost, then we could make it acceptable. We could make a really cool wooden puzzle for $100, way different than $2,000. So that was part of it. We thought we could marry technology and the artistry and craftsmanship of hand-cut puzzles to start Boardwalk Puzzles. The origin story is really funny because I got a call from the buyer at Barnes & Noble shortly after they were acquired by a British company. And the new CEO of the big parent company for Barnes & Noble said, hey, I want you to go out and find the coolest puzzles you can find anywhere and invest in them because puzzles are going to be huge. And this is right at the beginning of the pandemic. So she called me and she said, hey, I saw that you have this company, Waterford Puzzle Company, which is the hand-cut wooden puzzles. Tell me about it. Can we get some puzzles from you? We want to put them in our flagship stores. And I said, sure. But we also have this other company that we're just beginning called Boardwalk Puzzles. And she said, oh, I want to know. Tell me everything. So I was telling her about it, showing her the brand and that the vibe was all about craftsmanship and quality and fun, how people spend their summers outdoors on the boardwalk or at the beach. And she said, send me a sample. That's when the stress started because we hadn't made anything yet. So I found a company. I found a company that could hand cut a puzzle. I went to Hobby Lobby, tried to find a box. We crafted a box. Really great graphic designer friend of mine helped with some of the packaging and the logo. We printed some stickers. We made a box. We made one puzzle and I shipped it to her. And I thought, oh, here goes. We'll see what happens. So Jason, I'm just waiting there. And 2 weeks later, I hadn't heard from her. And I'm thinking, well, certainly it had to have arrived by now. So I called her and I said, hey, did you get that puzzle? And she said, yeah, I don't have it. And I said, but did you get it? Oh, yeah, I got it. And I put it together and then my parents put it together. And now my nephew and his wife are putting it together. And I said, but you've only had it for like a week. And she's like, yeah, everybody wants this. We're all in. we want to be your launch customer and tell me what you can provide from Boardwalk Puzzles. So we were, diving headfirst in. They placed a huge order. At that point, we were Steve Jobsing it out of the garages of the house, finishing with buffers and wrap and packaging. And it was just really intense because friends of mine that were school teachers, doctors, hairstylists, people were over at night after work helping us finish these puzzles. My neighbor loaned us his truck. I was calling UPS. Can you stay open for, 30 more minutes while we deliver this shipment? And anyway, that was the launch story. So Barnes & Noble was our first big customer, and they're still a customer today. This was in the summer of 2020. We turned on our website on Thanksgiving Day, 2020, and we sold out of some of our products the very first day. So we knew we had, caught on to something that was going to grow and that people were really looking for. So that's kind of the origin story of how we got going. There's a lot more details and funny things and crazy things happen, but somehow we made it and we got launched in 2020.
I see. Thank you so much for that amazing story. I would say Barnes & Noble is usually where people work like many, many years to get into instead of starting the company and all of a sudden you're in Barnes & Noble. That's an incredible journey and very, very, very different story than other companies I have interviewed over the years. The other question I would think that really raised, well, the challenge you face is I imagine that initial order from Barnes & Noble must be huge. But you don't even have all the operation facility all figured out yet. How do you get all the order out the door when the company is so new?
Well, we basically just started working 18 hours a day to get it done. Like I said, I roped in a lot of my friends from every different profession possible, and they were helping at night. We found a company to cut our puzzles. We ordered special wood for the puzzles. We did a lot of testing initially, so we were kind of ready to get going, but we had no idea how much work it would be to fulfill that initial order because the initial order was quite large, even though it was only going into about 50 of the Barnes & Noble stores. But we were stressed. Let me just tell you, like no sleep for 4 months.
I see. Yeah, that's both a blessing and a curse at the same time almost because you get such a big order early on in the company. And looking back, what would you say that really set the Boardwalk Puzzle Company apart from all the other competitors on the market?
I think it was creativity. We really leaned into creating what we called playful pieces, so little identifiable shapes. We themed all of the cut patterns and even some of the nubs in the puzzles to the art. We got unique art that was you couldn't get anywhere else. So we partnered with some artists early on. Some of them created stuff expressly for us. So it was really somewhat luck, a lot of hard work, and just really leaning into the creativity so that they were a very unique product that really didn't exist on the market.
I see. And currently, do you still keep most of those art in-house or do you try to get more licensing? What was your strategy right now to get more kind of puzzle design out there?
Initially, we worked with third-party artists, and now we have our own art studio where we have more than a dozen artists that work with us. And we've been able to develop and improve our art standards and the type of art that works well for puzzles, particularly shaped puzzles. So we just did a French bulldog. It's in the shape of a bulldog, but it's wearing kind of an Ed Hardy style sweater that gives the puzzle a lot of fun and interest. So we've learned a lot even since 2020. But I also learned a lot before 2020 working for the hand-cut puzzle company. I was running that company for a short while as well. They had, a 40-year history of hand-cut wooden puzzles.
Okay, I see. And I think you have a few of your products with you today. Would you mind kind of demoing some of the products?
Well, we have branched out into traditional puzzles quite a bit, and that's our biggest market right now because they're a lot more cost-effective for folks. So this is a sample of art that was created in our in-house art studio.
Okay.
This is one that's called Safari Expedition. And we really have, prided ourselves on the craftsmanship. So you can see the box is very nice. It's got a magnetic close. We use really premium quality board so that the puzzle pieces are, going to last if you put it together 10 times, 20 times. We do something that's a little bit unique in the industry. We put in a resealable bag.
Okay.
Once you bust this bag open, your puzzle pieces are going to be everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You can zip them closed in this bag. And then we also include a really beautiful art insert.
Okay.
And I think one of the keys is that we never use AI art. This is all art that is crafted by artists that have a lot of training. Most of them all have degrees in art. They've been painting collectively for about 200 years. So
Yeah.
they're really experienced artists, and you can only get this type of art through our company. Let me show you one other one that I think is really fun. This is currently the top selling title at Costco called Roswell. There's like, the artist is paying homage to almost every sci-fi Martian related TV series, movie that's ever existed. So all kinds of funny stuff in this painting. You can even see the cow being lifted up.
That's actually very fun design.
Even a guy eating his cheeseburger and fries is being beamed up to the ship. So yeah, this is a very fun puzzle. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle, but we make 500 and 1,000-piece puzzles right here in our facility in the US.
I see. And I think you're also very into speed puzzle. Can you also talk a little bit about your speed puzzle line and like all the different special function or feature that you include in your speed puzzle line as well?
Jason, have you ever timed yourself on a puzzle?
I think I'm very slow. It takes me a few days to finish a 500 piece.
Well, I'm middle of the pack too, so I wouldn't be super fast on a team, but I think of speed puzzling kind of like pickleball. You know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, very few people played pickleball, and now it seems like everybody plays pickleball.
Yeah.
So speed puzzling is kind of the same thing. It's been around for a little while, but in the last 4 or 5 years, it's really popped off. And there's now a speed puzzle association for every state in the union.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And there is the U.S. Jigsaw Puzzle Association that sanctions the events. They set the rules. They collect the times, and you get ranked because you have a score.
Okay.
So for every official event you participate in, like maybe you were a professional golfer or tennis player or something, you know, you get a ranking. So all of these times from official events go into your ranking, and it's really a fun experience because you get to be with a lot of really great people. The puzzling community is so friendly. Everybody is like collaborative and just likes to have fun and get together, and you see, you know, friends from before. If you don't have enough for your team, other people will join your team and they'll help. So it's really something that almost anybody can do. And so speed puzzling really has taken off. Last Saturday, so just 2 days ago, we had close to 500 people at our headquarters here for the Utah Speed Puzzling Championship.
Nice. Okay.
And I got to tell you, the fastest puzzlers are just incredible. They're like a machine, just putting the pieces down. See, they can almost just from a pile of pieces see where each one goes.
Yeah.
Just crazy fast. We had a group doing a puzzle about this size, 500 pieces.
Yeah.
The fastest pair, 2 people working on a 500-piece puzzle, finished it in 28 minutes and like 20 seconds.
Whoa, that's incredibly fast. Yeah.
And a lot of the solo puzzlers could finish a 500-piece puzzle in under an hour.
Under an hour. Okay.
I mean, it blows my mind. It would take me 4 hours to do that, but they're just so fast.
But for your company, when you're designing puzzle for the speed puzzler, what are some of the things you change that's different than the regular puzzle, I guess?
Well, Jason, we actually launched a new brand on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me more about that. Yeah.
You know, the Boardwalk brand is our flagship brand, and it's puzzling for everybody, kids, adults, seniors, whatever. The Speedmaster brand was inspired by speed puzzlers. Here's a picture of the box. So some of the differences with this is the type of puzzle material we used is really rigid, super tight cuts. We cut them differently than the other puzzles so that when you finish the puzzle, you can actually swing it like this. It will stay together. It's so tight.
Oh, okay.
We have a different surface. We have a texture and a non-glare surface on all of those puzzles. We even made the insert smaller, but on cardstock so that you have a good picture reference.
I
and
see.
The box also doubles as a photo reference.
Okay.
Some of the other cool things about this particular brand is you see this limited edition sticker. It's kind of a foil.
Yeah.
Anyway, of this particular puzzle, only 1,200 are ever made.
Okay.
And every box is numbered. So this is puzzle number 1156 of 1,200.
Oh, whoa. Okay. I see.
So becoming a limited edition is really cool. It also is great for speed puzzling because most of the people haven't seen these puzzles before. They know that it's rare.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing it, it's a more fun competition because everything is new.
Never knew. Yes. Yeah.
We also put a speed dial on here so you can see how fast this puzzle should go. It can go quick, faster, or turbo.
Okay.
Turbo is the fastest. If it's turbo, it should go together really quickly.
Okay. Okay.
This is kind of a moderate one. So this, you can see that this puzzle was painted with different color sections.
Yeah.
That allows you to sort your pieces into at
Mhm.
least 12 groups. This is the
Mhm.
full image on the back. The
Yeah.
lettering often helps puzzlers too, because letters are typically a little easier to put together.
Yeah. Yeah. Easier to find. Yeah.
And then the last thing, which is the thing that I'm most proud of, is this little QR code.
Mhm.
The QR code goes to a landing page where you can put your own time in. You
Mhm.
can put notes in to compare with other puzzlers, your experience with this puzzle. And you can also see official results from competitions that were sponsored by or sanctioned by the
Oh.
Utah Jigsaw
Okay.
Puzzle,
Okay.
West
Okay.
Jigsaw Puzzle Association. So
I
yeah,
see.
it's a great way to like help build the community, and people can interact and talk about their experiences, etc. So
Mhm.
we're really excited about this. Only 2 titles have launched so far. Here's the other
Okay.
one that launched.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the art is also quite contemporary, a bit different than what you see on a lot of puzzles. And
Mhm.
again, it's not AI art. So it's all hand painted by one of our artisans.
Oh.
One
Okay.
of these artists is from California, and one is originally from Mexico, but then Idaho, and then now living in Utah.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, that's the very interesting and very fun product line to definitely work on. So I want to kind of go back a little bit, talk
Sure.
about like I've been running this company for a few years now. What are some of the like the biggest surprise about running a puzzle company that you face over the years?
Well, the crazy nature of the tariffs, number one. Like, is
Okay.
there a tariff? Is there not a tariff? Because even though we're making things in the US,
Yeah.
we're still sourcing materials from all over the world,
Overseas.
from
That's
Europe,
true.
from Asia, etc. So that's a challenge. The tariffs have also impacted equipment, getting equipment
Mm,
into the
okay.
US. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'd like to do more in the US, but just getting the equipment to the country can be prohibitively expensive. I think that's probably the biggest surprise. The next biggest surprise is how often things break.
Okay.
Equipment breaks that you think, okay, this thing has been running just fine for the last 500,000 puzzles, and today it won't even
Mhm.
turn on. It's like,
I see.
what's
Yeah.
happening? So we have a really good
Mm,
team that does a lot of those repairs. We get support from the manufacturers too, but just making sure that you account for potential downtime on equipment when you're trying to fill a big order. I think I mentioned, and you also know that we sell in Costco. Costco doesn't order a handful of anything. They order,
yeah, they
truck
order a lot.
after
Yeah.
truck after truck. And we got to
Yeah.
make sure that we deliver that on time, because they have a
Mm,
window, a selling season for every product that goes into Costco. We got to make
mm,
sure we hit that selling season, and that
selling
we have
season.
the
Yeah.
best product available.
I see. I see. Just one out of curiosity, when is a selling season for puzzle?
Well, puzzles are typically a Q4,
Oh,
fourth
okay.
quarter, so they are October, November, December.
Okay.
However, because Costco is also where people buy a lot of gifts, we go in about
Yeah.
mid Q3. So our
Oh,
puzzles
okay. Okay.
typically show up about the middle of August
Okay.
in Costco, and then sell through the end of the year.
I see. Okay.
It might not be obvious on the surface, but once you think about it, a lot more people do puzzles when it's cold outside. The
Yeah.
fall and winter are like high puzzle seasons, and the further north you go, the more puzzles people do.
That's true. That's true. Too cold to get outside. Yeah, that makes 100% sense. So,
So, yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of factors with that. And when we sell puzzles to Costco, we have all different assortments because we're sending stuff to the Northwest. So you want puzzles about Oregon and Washington and Northern California, and the national parks in Idaho, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So we try to have a good regional assortment mixed in with national titles. Like,
Mm,
we could sell
I see.
Roswell anywhere
Yeah.
because everybody's interested in UFOs and
Yeah, that's
crazy,
true.
stuff. Plus,
Yeah.
it's just a super fun image. But
Yeah.
a title like Bend, Oregon is really going to do well in one region and not necessarily in Florida or Ohio.
That's true. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So, and I want to go back to your decision in your own entrepreneurial journey when you decided to produce everything in US, which is a big decision because I would say 80% of companies within the toys and game industry manufacture overseas. Can you kind of walk us through on why do you make that decision, and what are some of the challenges for people that actually is kind of new or early in their entrepreneurial journey within the industry? What are some of the things they should even consider to make that decision that okay, I should manufacture in US or I should manufacture in overseas?
Well, the decision to make things in the US was really driven on the fact that we want to be able to turn things around quickly. So a fast
Okay.
turn time is critical for
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Also, to be able to oversee the quality ourselves, be able to have eyes on things as they're happening. And we thought we could learn a lot faster by doing that. When you're manufacturing something, you see the problems immediately.
Mm, mm,
And then you kind of can also see what's causing those problems. Is it the design? Is it the die wasn't made correctly? Is it the art is
mm,
difficult? Is it the way it's laminated? Is it the board? Is it the box?
yeah.
So it allowed us to learn a lot faster than if we were
Faster.
to just work with partners overseas.
Yes.
We still make a few limited products with partners overseas, but the majority of what we make is in our traditional puzzles in the US. So we make
Yeah.
100-piece puzzles,
Mm.
500-piece puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzles, all here in the US. And we're really happy. We make more than 1 million puzzles a year.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a big volume.
So crossing that
Yeah.
threshold a few weeks ago
Yeah.
was a huge achievement for the company. We're super excited about that, and we want to continue to grow here in the US. But we do have great partners in Europe and in Asia that also help us source materials, parts, components, etc. So it
Mhm.
really is a global economy, and I hope people really appreciate how interconnected all of us are. Because even though we make
Yeah.
things in the US, we do rely heavily on our partners all over the world to help us be successful. So
Mm.
we don't want to downplay that at all. And there are significant cost challenges for manufacturing in the US.
Yeah.
Everything costs more in the US. Power costs more.
Mm.
Insurance costs more. Things that you don't think about it
They-
first as an entrepreneur. You think employees are going to cost more, or, maybe the equipment costs more, or the building costs more. But
Yeah.
when you think about all of the stuff costing more, it's like, oof, this is a challenge in the US. And we're only successful because we're very efficient.
I see. I see. I see.
If we weren't
Yeah.
this efficient, we could never compete by making stuff in the US.
I see. I see. I see. What are some of the, I guess, strategy that you try to do with your manufacturing facility here in US to kind of like, just like you mentioned, streamline efficiency and also reduce on some of the costs at the same time?
Well, we know that our equipment is a big cost, so we want to run our equipment, as much as possible without it,
Mm.
breaking down.
Yeah.
So we try to have multiple shifts going, particularly during our peak season. We might even run 3 shifts. I think my background as a professor, analyzing every aspect of our business, working with our team to do that. We have some very sharp people in our manufacturing, our operations, and our production area
Yeah.
that we all work together to analyze things. We were, for example, manufacturing everything and then boxing it separately.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're counting the time it takes for everything to move from place to place and how many people. And we realized if we boxed it right at the manufacturing location, so like right at the die press and the
Yeah.
bagging area, we could
Mhm.
save a lot of time and we could reduce the number of people on the floor by 2 or 3. So,
Okay. That's a huge save. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and every shift and 3 shifts a day, that really
Mhm.
adds up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got rid of our, 60-foot conveyor belts, and we got short 5-foot conveyor belts that are right at the source of the manufacturing. It also
Mm.
helps with quality control because there's no chance of things getting mixed up because whatever puzzle's
Mm.
being made on that machine is not going to go anywhere else until it's in the box.
True. 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 Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Okay.
we ended up having to buy a few more small pieces of equipment, labeling equipment for recording the lot number, the manufacturing codes, the die codes. But those were incidental to the cost of employing more people to just move things from place to place. So
Mhm.
that's one of the efficiencies. I think also just analyzing every aspect of what we do, how the box is
Mm.
designed, how the bag is designed, how,
Mm.
everything, just to make sure that what we're doing is no extra work.
Ah.
Every step of the process is as tight as possible. And we look for bottlenecks. Once you fix one bottleneck, another one pops up. That's just
Yeah.
operations. So
Mhm.
if we can chase down 15 bottlenecks, by the time we get done with that, the next bottleneck doesn't have much of a gain. We're really
Mm.
taken all of those gains from on the front end and made it more efficient.
I see. I see. And on the marketing side, what are some of the strategies that have been working well for you and your brand?
On the marketing side, one of the things that has driven sales both at Costco and on Amazon and in our own showroom and website is the fact that we do get involved with these speed puzzling competitions and community events. We've got lots of events coming up. One of them is called Puzzles and Bubbles.
Oh, okay.
Our
Okay.
marketing team says, yeah, it's like puzzles are a great conversation place.
Yeah.
They're great. They're like a coffee shop or, place a little cafe where you would go to have a conversation with your friends. And so
Yeah.
they have this evening where you can come get all kinds of like sodas and dirty sodas with mixed things in, flavors and half and cream in your soda
Yeah.
and do a puzzle together and then also have music requests so you can join a jam session that night.
Oh,
You
sounds
can
fun.
request music, have a great
Yeah.
conversation with some friends, get a cool puzzle kit, and have some refreshments as you talk.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful concept. Yeah. I
We've
see.
also sponsored live jazz events, so like a date night for couples and
Oh,
groups that want to come out. We had
okay.
live jazz band in our manufacturing facility. So in the evening, you can pick out your puzzle and you can put it together with a friend or a spouse or somebody, and then just listen to great jazz music. We make contributions to the band because they're just starting out their career and they're really phenomenal musicians. So it's
Mhm.
all kind of community building around the music, around the puzzling community, etc. So those events and sponsoring speed puzzling events in Texas and Utah and California and other places, Ohio, have really
Mhm.
helped our marketing. We also had ESPN come and film one
Oh,
of our speed
I
puzzling
see.
events in Ohio, and that
Oh,
also
nice.
really
Okay.
helped because
Yeah.
people didn't know about speed puzzling, and then they see it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what's that? I want to do that. I can do that. Anybody can do that."
Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't realize how big the speed puzzling community is before I talked with you, actually.
Yeah.
So it has been pretty like eye-opening to understand. Oh, there's a whole industry and a whole community around just speed puzzling itself. So that's incredible.
I think another thing that's really helped us on the marketing side is being really innovative with new products.
Okay.
Coming up with art series that are really attractive to people, reaching out to artists and having them join our art studio that appeal to specific niches like the
Mhm.
gaming community. We have some artists that paint for like big board game companies. And
Okay.
so people are looking for that name, someone that they recognize and say, "Oh, I want that puzzle now because I know that artist. I love that game they did, a couple years ago." So
I
that's
see.
helped. But yeah, like I said, the innovation on the product development side has probably pushed us forward the most.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing that. I guess over the year, what other advice will you give to other founders within the toys and game industry? Try to kind of balance both growth and also quality in the product itself.
Well, there's lots of room in any industry for different levels of quality. But as a company, we've never been interested in being anything but the very best. So we're really driven by that notion that we can never rest. We always have to get better. Every day, we got to be
Mhm.
thinking about how can we make this product better? How can we try new things? What can we do with interactivity that will make people enjoy the experience more? How can we help people connect better while
Yeah.
doing a puzzle? I mean, it might sound really odd to say, well, how can people like talk to each other more by doing a puzzle? But that's what we think about. Can we
Mm-hmm.
create things in the puzzle that are conversation starters?
Mm-hmm.
They're like discoveries that you would find in the puzzle that you can talk about. Also, just unique puzzle concepts. I think I have one here that's coming out soon. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. This is
Sure.
called the Ugly Sweater Countdown Calendar.
Okay, that's pretty fun. Yeah.
So inside, it's pretty cool. You've got a little art booklet,
Okay.
and then you've got basically 15 of your grandma's funky drawers.
Oh, okay, okay,
And
okay.
then
Yeah.
inside each of the drawers is a 100-piece puzzle, and it can be anything from this, which
Mhm.
is "You'll be sorry," to a Santa suit,
Okay.
"It's been a rough year,"
I see. Okay.
or "Slay the Day."
Mhm.
This particular product is designed for people who wanna have a fun holiday tradition or
Yeah.
who wanna do a fun activity at a party. So, at a party,
Okay.
you could have individuals or couples all putting together puzzles and then
So yeah.
competing with each other or exchanging puzzles. It's just really fun. And those
Yeah.
puzzles are all in the shape of a sweater. They're
Oh,
not
whoa.
square,
Okay.
they're
It's
not
not square. Okay.
rectangular. They're all cut in the shape of a unique sweater, and every sweater has a different shape. We don't spare any expense when it comes to like product development. It would be easy to create one die. Instead, we created 15 dies for that specific product.
I see. Yeah, so I can definitely see the dedication and the time and effort that you and your team put into the product development processes for sure.
And we really have talented artists, as you could see, that painted each of those sweaters, and a talented design team that designed this cool box that is the sweater texture. And, it's really fun to work here. I know some people kind of dread going to work, and I get excited to come to work every day because I keep thinking, well, what are we going to create today?
Yeah,
What
that's
problems
good.
can we
Nice.
solve today? How can we make this even better?
Yeah, and also have fun at the same time, right? We're in the toys and game industry after all.
Well,
So,
our company are the testers for our products. So every month when we have our town hall meeting, we spend a little bit of time testing a product, having our own competitions. We launched playing cards. We tested the playing cards. We played games. People won prizes. And
oh,
then we're
nice.
back to work.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a wonderful company culture to be in. So thank you so much for sharing that. And as well, wrapping up today's interview, if you have to share one piece of advice with someone that's just getting started within the toys and game industry, what would that be?
I would say do something that makes you happy. If you like the product you make, others will like the product too. If you're obsessed with the quality of it, other people will be obsessed with the quality of what you make. So really lean into what, as an entrepreneur, makes you excited, what makes you happy, because chances are there are a lot of people just like you. There are a lot of people like me that love art and that love creativity and that love the quality of what we make. And that's why our company, even during this slow time in the economy, we're continuing to grow, and this will be our biggest year yet. We're going to have our best year in 2025. And I think it's because we really do lean into what we love. And that is great art, great quality products, and products that really help people connect. You can go to a movie with your family or friends, but you're not going to talk much. You sit down to do a puzzle, you got a couple-hour conversation that could be really fun and meaningful, as well as putting a creative picture together. So that's what I think. Just lean into what you love, because others will love it too.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's a wonderful piece of advice. And for our audience that would love to learn a little bit more about you and your company, where is the best place for people to find you online?
Boardwalkpuzzles.com is our website, and you can find out everything about our company there. You can also find us in lots of retail stores. We're in all 600 plus Costco's in the US. We're on Amazon. We're on Target.com. So you can find us all over.
Got it. And we'll make sure we put that in the show note. And thank you so much for your time today, sharing your journey within the industry and sharing all your knowledges and experience with the rest of us as well.
Well, it was fun to be with you, and we love talking about toys and games, and we're even working on our next phase of our company, which is board games. So,
okay.
We'll have more to come next year.
I see. Thank you for sharing that as well. And for our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We hope you have enjoyed today's conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you have heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We really appreciate your support and would love it if you can leave us a review and share the podcast with your friend and colleague. For more resource tips and the latest update within the toys and game industry, visit our website at toy-launch.com. Join the conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag ToyBusinessUnboxed. We'd love to hear your feedback and suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joy to toys. This is Jason Hsieh signing off on Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.